guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. This one's going to be all about the HESI exam. Let's get into the video. So the HESI exam is an entrance exam for different medical fields, really nursing, to see how students will do in nursing school. So I had to take an entrance exam, the HESI exam, before I even applied to the school, and I only had 2 chances to pass it. And if I did not pass it, you cannot go to AMU College of Nursing. You'll have to find a different route to a degree because you cannot go to their nursing school. So I have a little notes about what the HESI is down here, and I've got my test that we will go over. So the HESI, that contains a lot of different categories. It takes reading comprehension, vocabulary, general knowledge, grammar, math, biology, chemistry, anatomy and physiology, and physics. Now, all nursing schools do not take the same HESI subject requirements. I only took grammar, math, anatomy and physiology, and reading comprehension, along with critical thinking. That's another one, critical thinking. I did not take biology, chemistry, or physics, or general knowledge. A lot of schools require the entire HESI exam, while PV only required those 5 subjects. So do not think that you taking a HESI exam at PV, those scores can also take you to like Sam Houston Nursing School or UT Nursing School, because they might have their own set of HESI subject requirements, what you must take on the test. So that makes it really confusing for students when you're trying to pick schools to apply to, when some schools only need 5 parts of the HESI, some need 7, some need biology, some don't. One needs chemistry but not biology. It gets very confusing when looking at different schools and choosing how to work the HESI. My advice would be to just take the entire HESI. I kind of threw all my cards in one basket by just taking my HESI at PV, and let's say I didn't pass that HESI enough or didn't get the scores I needed to. That means I have to go retake the HESI to go to a different school and take all the subjects again. Another thing is there's another exam called the TEAS. The TEAS is another entrance exam. There's a lot of schools who also just require the TEAS. So you might think, oh, if I take all the entire HESI, the full test, I can get into every nursing school. And then you look, one takes the TEAS. I believe Sam Houston Nursing School, they take the TEAS. So you're crunched down on deadlines. You're like, HESI, applied to all the schools, but I didn't get into the one I wanted. So let me try Sam Houston. Oh, they need a TEAS test. So then you have to go take a whole new test, basically the same test, to get into a different school. So if you want a ton of options trying to go to nursing school, I recommend taking the HESI and then also taking the TEAS, because that opens up a lot of doors that a lot of people don't think about till they are midway in application time and they realize they should have taken the TEAS or should have taken the full HESI. We will talk a little bit now about my grades. So I am going to school in fall of 2020, and the first time I took the HESI was November 26th, 2019. That gives you enough time, because you cannot, I think you can retake every 3 months, I believe, the HESI. So you have to allot yourself time. It is a timed test. Let me see if I can get how long the time of the HESI. You get 4 hours to take the HESI. So this is the first score I got. And as you can kind of see, I'll show my scores, I don't even mind. That's the scores I got. I'll read them out. Reading comprehension, I got an 88%. Grammar, I got a 95%. Anatomy and physiology, I got a 72%. And math, I got an 88%. So the only thing that really hurt me on this one, and grammar, I only got a 66%. Those are not good. I need a 75 on all of them. So the ones I did not do very well is anatomy and physiology and grammar. And so I was really hurt because all the pressure is on when you have you only have one more time to take it. I only had one more time to take the exam, and a lot of pressure was on me because like I took the exam with a lot of my friends. A lot of them passed and whoop in their school, they don't have to stress anymore. But I really took advice to one of the girls in my nursing organization. She is a semester ahead of us, so she's about to go into semester 2. She was a 2-time HESI passer. She was like the only one who, she didn't make quite pass everything on the first try, so she only had to retake the sections that she did not have enough. But she was really stressed and really worried about taking it that second time, because it's really, you're gonna do it or you're not, because if you don't, PV College of Nursing is not an option for you. You cannot go to PV College of Nursing. I cannot stress that enough. If you do not pass the HESI within 2 tries, you cannot go to PV College of Nursing. They're very strict. You cannot go to their nursing school. So then the second time I took the HESI was February 4th, 2020. And this was like pushing it. Like all the HESI dates were filling up. And so for anatomy and physiology, I scored a 92. And grammar, I scored a 94. So those are actually my highest scores of the entire HESI. And I passed it because all of my scores were above 75%. I was very excited. I was very happy. It was just a weight lifted off my shoulders. So that's the HESI test. So let me talk to you about studying for the HESI. I personally use an app called Quizlet. I'll probably drop a picture of the app up here somewhere. Quizlet is my saving grace because I can do it on my phone, I can do it on my computer, and I can print it off, and they'll have a column of the definitions and the column of the word, or vice versa. Quizlet was my saving grace. In between classes, I would sit and I would do anatomy and physiology. I would do vocabulary, I would do grammar, I would do all the different things I could do and really sit down and try to study them. Me and my friends found study material from other girls who took the HESI. We really studied that. There's a Facebook group that has a lot of people post their study material. We were just using it and did little study groups. I studied probably for about 3 months before the first one, and all of the 3 months in between or really 2 months in between my second test. And I would do it on my phone. If I'm sitting in the car, I'm going through Quizlets. If I'm on my computer, once I finish working, I'm doing my Quizlets. I'm looking at what I missed. I'm looking at how to study better. I'm looking at different sets of words that I may not have known from the test. Because like anatomy and physiology, like the study packets, there's 194 terms roughly on the anatomy study packets that you will find a lot. And on like Quizlets, if you type in HESI anatomy and physiology, you will see like 194 or 206. There's a lot of key terms that you must know. And math, let's just talk about math for a second. Math is not my strong suit. I had to do the HESI. I have not taken math since college algebra, first semester of freshman year. So I was really rusty on basic math. So I had to I felt like I had to relearn, but I had to really get my head consistently knowing fractions, knowing decimals, knowing ratios, simple division, because all the math is very simple, and then a lot of it's conversions. So you also have to know your conversions. Some people have Roman numerals. I personally did not, and some people have like time and stuff like that. I didn't have a lot of those, but a lot of it word problems and then fractions and decimals. So you have to know those type of things, and that's a good one to start practicing early, is getting back in the swing of doing math and word problem math. And you have 4 hours to do it. Take your time. I rushed through my first test. I am typically a very decent test taker, but I'm also, the flip side of that is I'm a very quick test taker. I psych myself out and I'm like, right, this is right. I might check a couple and I'm done, let's go. I don't sit down and read the problems very well. So the HESI was definitely a learning experience for me. So I actually had to sit down, read the word problem, read the problem over again, because once you hit the answer, you can't go back. You have to be 100% sure that's the answer, because you can't go back. The math section, they do let you use a calculator on some problems. It's on the computer, and a little calculator will come up in the corner when you can use it. And it's helpful, but they also give you a pen. You can have them at scratch paper and a pencil, check. your work. I don't know how many times the decimal was in the wrong spot, and you have to check your work. So don't think math, ooh, the calculator says I know how to do it. Check your work. Please check your work. And another thing I learned about the second time I took the test was I also did it quick. I'll give you a little snippet. To take 5 sections, it took me an hour and 25 minutes. And to take 2 sections, it took me 30 minutes. And the questions are about 55. Some of them are 55 questions. I think anatomy is 30 questions. So it just ranges on different questions. But I really know, like, the second time, I was quick. I was quicker than I thought. And I think I was really, like, the adrenaline in my body. I was, like, in fight mode. I was like, this is it. I gotta do well. You don't second guess. You gotta do it. And I just started going. Like, anatomy, I knew almost all of the questions. Anatomy, what I get? I got a 92. And I was literally like, oh, that's carrots. Oh, that's squash. That's your femur. Boom, boom. And I was thinking, like, I thought in my head, I was like, Sky, you're going too fast. But it was like I would say I'm going too fast, but I was like, I know these questions. Like, I know 100% I know these questions. So why am I going to take the time and flop through the answers when I know this is a question on my review? What I studied, I know the answer. The same thing with grammar. I had studied so much and studied repetitively that I knew a lot. I got a 94. I knew a lot. So it was like, Sky, you're rushing, don't rush. And then I was like, but you know this. Like, the answers aren't going to change the longer you sit here and look at it. You know the answer. So definitely balancing, you know it, and to read the problem. If you think a word's different or you don't really know, sit down and read the problem. 4 hours is enough time. And also, another thing you can do is, on scratch paper, you can write the conversions. You just can't bring anything in to show you. If you can study word for word and all the conversions and all the measurements and stuff like that, second you sit down and they give you a pen and pencil, you can start writing it down. I know I did. I tried to remember as much as I could, and I would just write it on the scratch piece of paper to help me. Any keywords, anything, I just write it down because that's all you have. Everything goes in a locker or however your testing center does it, and you sit down at the table with the computer with a pen and paper, and then you start your exam. But guys, that's all I have to talk about with the HESI exam. I hope if anyone sees this video and is taking it, you will do great. You take your time and you will pass it. I know you will. If you have any questions about the HESI or study material, comment down below or comment on my Instagram. I'll be happy to answer those questions. Don't forget to stay positive, stay motivated, and smile like the sunshine.